All right, back to it.
Florida drivers, do not pay your auto insurance bill until you hear this. The truth is, they're legally robbing you every time you pay for it. You know what my favorite part about this industry is? Is when we say that we set culture. Can you clip this? Can we once and for all agree? I'm just gonna make this very clear. Your fucking 30-second TV spot that runs on fucking midday television isn't doing shit for culture. Can't wait to see which Super Bowl spot from this Super Bowl sets culture in 2025. Our industry is delusional. It's lost its way. It's not 1964 anymore. We got to get our fucking act together.
That was great. What's one myth about marketing, social marketing, and brand building that you want to bust?
Yeah, that was it. I really walked into that. I think the myth is that, I think the thing that's very clear to me that I think is starting to gain momentum, and I'm appreciative. I want to. By the way, all this like energy I'm bringing, it's because I love our industry. It's because I don't want people to get fired. Like, does anybody know that there's a merger of 2 holding companies? Does anybody know there's rumors of other companies going private? Like, we're not winning. And like, what happens to a 48-year-old creative director that gets out of a job right now and can't find another one? Like, I worry about our industry. Like, I'm gonna be fine. Like, I worry about our industry. And so the biggest myth is that I think most people who are watching this, if they're really deep stuck in the old world, think brand is built on a television spot. And I think brand is built in social, right? For example, I love authenticity. Right now, as I'm speaking, everybody behind the camera is worried about the sound that's coming outside the room. I don't think that sound outside the room is gonna fuck you up watching this. That is what I believe.
And what about your predictions for AI, specifically AI influencers and how AI impacts social marketing?
AI is gonna impact life. Like, people are gonna be marrying AI bots in like 30 years. So yeah, I'm sorry. You might dump Lou for an AI human. AI is gonna be a big deal. And in fact, our industry is already affecting it. We're seeing creative being made for a lot less. It's very important. But to your question, I'm very obsessed with AI influencers. I think influencer marketing is a monster. And I think just as it's getting into its heyday, I see the next thing that's going to disrupt it, which is I'm predicting that the combination of what Disney does, right? Intellectual property, Snow White, The Lion King, Cinderella, and what influencers do, Alex Earl, Mr. Beast, is going to come into one. Fake people, AI people, are going to be some of the biggest.
Hey, Meatball, thank you for the likes. Appreciate it, bro.
And humans are going to own those people, and it's going to be huge. And there's going to be so many. There'll be more AI influencers than there are humans, meaning attempted AI influencers. In 10, 15 years, there'll probably be way more than 8 billion AI humans all trying to become influencers to monetize the way influencers do. And that's going to be fascinating to watch. And I think that is very clear to me that that's going to happen.
Scary. Okay, we have about 8 more minutes.
But you know what else is scary? What's scary is if your great-great-grandmother walked in right now, all of this. That's exactly right. A plane, a car, a television, an iPhone, the way we're dressed, societal norms, shit changes.
You recently talked about live social shopping and your predictions for that.
Thank you for giving me the platform for this, because I'm going to clip this in 6 years and say I told you. Live social shopping is, please, even if you're watching this to find something to make fun of me for because you want to razz me and don't like me, please get serious about live social shopping. The QVC implication of social media is here. It's coming, and it's going to come harder. And by the way, I'm not some genius or know what I'm talking. Like, this has been happening in China for 8 years. TikTok Shop is a monster, obviously a banned, but this is a global platform, so there'll still be a. Whatnot is a standalone app that's doing serious numbers, and I can't imagine Meta and YouTube just sitting idle and letting TikTok and startup apps take this market. You would be flabbergasted if you look at what's going on Poshmark, live, on eBay Live, on Amazon Live, but some of those big ones like eBay and Amazon are still small because they haven't figured out their product. TikTok and whatnot are monsters. Back to BeFriends, just to give you context, let me make it very real. I did a 3-hour conference room sale for BeFriends, selling hoodies and t-shirts and socks. We did almost $200,000 in revenue in 3 hours. This is a big deal. People need to learn about it. And I believe that it will be a substantial advancement of why we spend even more time on social media. And to remind everybody, if they believe me, QVC and HSN still do staggering numbers. Staggering. On cable. Selling ridiculous shit. It's going to be huge.
What principles or mantras does your team have?
What principles and mantras does our team have? There's a lot. The biggest one is underpriced and overpriced attention is a big conversation at Vayner. Like, for example, I love doing TV commercials when it's the Super Bowl. I like doing social creative when it actually gets views. I love spending media dollars. We have a huge media department spending billions of dollars. I like to spend on actual reach, not potential reach. So, we have a lot of like those nerdy business mantras. I think organizationally, culturally, we have something called the Honey Empire that has really helped the company understand what we're about. We call Vayner the Honey Empire internally because we like to treat each other with honey over vinegar. It's a very big mantra here. Kindness matters. Kind candor, if you have to deliver candor, back to what I was talking about earlier. But we're also not an institution that is like a 5th generation, hedge fund where we could just burn money. So we want to build an empire. And it really helps. It goes back to, you asked me what my mom taught me. She taught me purple. I think, a lot of times employees within companies think the company's either too red or too blue, right? It's either delusional, like,
hey, thank you, appreciate that.
Selling like random shit. Or
good morning to you as well. I like the name Kobe.
And by the way, I'm just gonna go on a side tangent. We must eradicate crying at agency life. Like, we gotta get nicer. Holding hose, come on. Get nicer. Anyway, we're the Honey Empire. That's a mantra. We want to be honey over vinegar, which means a lot of humanity, a lot of kindness, a lot of feelings, good stuff, but don't go too far where it's delusional and ridiculous because we're building a fucking empire. We want to kill everybody. Not really. Or like competition, you know what I mean. But like, we want to win. And so
thank you for the finger heart. Appreciate that, bro.
Another big mantra internally
finger hearts
for my
back,
leadership
bro.
is I want wartime generals, not peacetime generals. What that means is, of course, everyone is happy on the team when everything is prosperous. When the money's flowing in and we're having fun and let's do the Super Bowl. Show me what kind of leader you are once you become an SVP in this company, when shit's hard. When the client is nasty. As a leader, are you then passing that on to your team and scaring them? Or are you blocking that as a shield and making it safe for your team? I really love leaders that understand fear is not a motivator. And so I'm looking for wartime generals, people that can stand up and be the bigger person when it's hard, not when it's easy. Those are some of the things that really run our world.
U.S. General, cabs, cards, and a whole lot more, only at Harbor Freight.
Domino's Best Deal Ever is back. Get your dream pizza for just $9.99 online, only at Domino's.
Business these days isn't confined to 9 to 5. It's not even confined to one business. I have a career and other ambitions I'm running with around the clock. Like a lot of people, I've got a lot of balls in the air, and I need to keep everything in sync. Sync.com is the simplest, most private and secure storage solution for all my digital stuff. What kind of stuff? Well, lots and lots of stuff. I need to keep my band up to date with my latest tracks. We need a way we can share files, collaborate, and keep revisions up to date. Plus, we're dealing with big files that can't be emailed. Remember what Springsteen famously said, email's a hassle, man. These days, you're either DIY or you're DOA. I've got a lot of big ideas for this album cover.
Rhett the Freak was my wrestling name.
Even bigger design files.
And they gave me that name because I was freakishly good in the ring.
I gotta be mobile and on the move. And don't have time to constantly transfer my files from device to device.
And rhett is
It's just
my
not practical.
my government name.
With sync.com, I get a special folder on my computer. Everything that gets dropped in there is up to date and available on all my devices. Whether I'm working on my passion projects or selling through the next big idea at the office, the thing that matters most to me and the people that I work with is privacy. Something that's become much more rare these days. Something that sync.com cares about most. There seems to be this feeling that privacy doesn't matter anymore, with most people saying they have nothing to hide. It's not about having something to hide, but it is about having something to protect. Your ideas, your work, your stuff. Sync is built from the ground up to be the most simple and
No, I don't
storage
wrestle
solution for all
anymore.
your data. Using state-of-the-art
Not right now at the
technology, all
moment.
my files are placed in a digital safe.
Don't have any shows lined
A
up.
copy of that safe is stored on the Sync server.
Sync can't see my files, will never see my files, and has no interest in seeing my files, because only
Great. And how is VaynerMedia unique?
VaynerMedia, especially in the landscape of our industry, is one, independent and at scale, which is a rarity. Two, has media and creative under one roof. So not in a holding company environment where there's separate companies and you create a team for a client. Like VaynerMedia has hundreds and hundreds of employees, both in media and creative, and they work together every day. So we're dramatically more integrated. VaynerMedia is unique in that we are one of the stronger creative agencies in the world, yet most of our industry doesn't think that, meaning we think in television commercial land in this industry. So even though VaynerMedia has done many, I think 16 Super Bowl spots now in the last 4 or 5 or 6 years, we are often thought of as a social creative shop to many people on the other side of this camera, which is exactly how we want it, because we think social creative is actually the new creative AOR, and that's where brand is actually built. And so I don't think anybody is as committed or as talented at the creative product in social, so I think we're unique there. We're unique that we're still founder-led, even though we're thousands of employees globally, and so kind of a character. So that creates a unique thing. I think I'm incredibly well-parented, and my mother's my hero, so I think we're unique in that people don't cry at VaynerMedia the way they cry at most agencies. So I think we have a better culture. I think we're unique. Those are some things.
Can you tell us about VaynerX and what makes it unique?
VaynerX is pretty unique too. VaynerX is the holding company. When we bought Gallery Media Group, or PureWow.com more specifically, before we created other websites and properties and publishing. So right off the bat, we were weird, right? When I started my holding company, I was agency, which was already unique with media and creative. And then the first thing I added was not another agency like every other company in the history of the space. We added a publisher, which was weird to begin with. So that's unique. And then we started creating other companies, a speaking bureau, unique, Vayner Speakers. Our production company within the holding company is very unique. In fact, the name of our production company is Eva Nosadam, which is Madison Avenue spelled backwards. We're unique in that we try to produce at a much lower cost. We think production's overpriced in advertising land. We produce with creative outputs for social along with the long form video. So we're really proud of that company. And Andrea, our new leader, who's been with us for a long time in the past in the UK, has come back home and is running everything globally, is incredible. We have a barter agency called Tingley Lane, which is named after the street I did my first lemonade stand in, that we're excited about. We're really unique in that it's a hodgepodge that's different than just a media and creative and maybe technology. Credit to Publicis, I think they've done more tech, but I think that's what makes us unique. It's an interesting series of companies, all with the purpose to get the thing done. Very passionate, and I'm very fortunate that I speak to CMOs all week long, and they come in and you really never know where they're going or what they want, or more importantly, I think one thing that makes VaynerX and VaynerMedia very unique is that we are very convicted and have a lot of confidence, but I would argue we have a lot of humility. We say no a lot, not because we're cool, because we're not cool. We say no because we don't think we can do it well, and we're scared shitless of ruining our brand. I don't need CMOs running around at Cannes or at the Super Bowl being like, don't work with Gary. They speak, and so we've gotten a lot of compliments last year of how often we say no, or how often we bow out of an RFP, or more importantly, how often we don't even do RFPs. And so, the publishing, the speaking bureau, those are some different elements. A production company is different. We have a company named after my father called the Sasha Group, which really services predominantly now private equity owned brands. So I would call it the Fortune 5000 versus the Fortune 500. And the Sasha Group's doing extremely well, and we're proud of that. And so, yeah, so definitely a little different than the other holding codes.
Great. And what about VeeFriends?
Well, VeeFriends is a whole other animal altogether. What's really interesting is that, and thank you for allowing me to speak about VeeFriends in this context. I think VeeFriends, in a lot of ways, proves why I'm confident about what VaynerX does. VeeFriends is creative. I'm inventing, and currently it's going quite well, a Pokemon, Disney, Marvel, Sesame Street like intellectual property that has a incredible kids book that is crushing, a YouTube kids show that is made by the people that made Coco Melon and Moonbug with me in cahoots, a Topps trading card that is coming out nationally this spring, 2025, an NFT project that is one of the 15 NFT projects that's still doing incredibly well in a world where 99% went to zero. I'm going on an offsite next week to literally make music and comic books for this IP. I think it shows that our founder and our leader is inherently creative. One of the things that I hear from a lot of people in the industry over the last 15 years, especially when I'm at Cannes, is like, Gary, you're not about the work. What they're really saying is, Gary, you don't respect TV commercials. And I say, you're right, because they suck. Like this incredible company, you guys, you cover in your .com magazine commercials that stink, that the industry talks about, but no human likes. I believe in creativity. I think creative is the variable of success. And VeeFriends is my creative outlet, because being an agency owner, we are at the mercy of the people that are signing the checks. I don't get to make the final calls. I have to service the client. I will fight like heck if I believe in something, but at the end of the day, there's an old Russian saying that my dad told me a lot as a kid. It translates to whoever's paying for the music gets to pick the song. And I live that life. Even though I have convictions and passion, I am who I am. I have a lot of humility in that. Like, I'm the service provider to our CMOs and our brands, and ultimately they get to make the pick. Thus, that waters down a lot of the creative things that I would hope to make, that I'm sure a lot of creatives that are watching this can understand. VeeFriends allows me to do it my way, all the way. And Gary Vee, my personal content, has been a gift. I wake up every morning to dozens, which is insane, of texts, DMs, or emails of people thanking me for a video they just watched in the last 24 hours. And I'm proud of that. And that goes back to my mom and wanting to do the positive thing to not just for yourself, but help others. VeeFriends allows me to do that to a younger demo. I was very affected when TikTok came out because my message started hitting 14 to 20 in a way that it hadn't before. And I realized, wow, you're molding people at 15 very differently than you are at 30, right? Old dogs, new tricks. So you're getting to them earlier. VeeFriends allows the things that my mom taught me to spread to a much younger audience. And so it's been really fruitful, really rewarding, and I'm excited about it.
Can you just elaborate on what some of those things are that your mom taught you?
My mom taught me purple. I think the world right now is incredibly red and blue. And what my mother did, my mother is the sweetest, most empathetic, caring woman on earth. She can be tied with your mom, so don't be mad at me, but she's right there. She's also a Soviet woman. She was born in the USSR, grew up there, came to America when she was 20. I was born in the Soviet Union. So my mom doesn't fuck around. Like all these kids, all your kids disrespecting you to your face, my mom doesn't play. I grew up in the 80s too. So that meant when I never even thought about it because would never disrespect my mother, but the occasional time that she misinterpreted what I was doing as something disrespectful, it wasn't like, oh, let's talk about this and have feelings. It was minimum grounding. And if she was really frustrated, it was a smack to the face. She didn't play. And so what my mom taught me was a lot of great things. One, she taught me accountability, which is a lost art in parenting. She taught me responsibility. But most of all, she taught me compassion, empathy, sympathy, and love. The level that she would react. I was naturally kind. I got very lucky with my DNA. A lot of it's my mom's DNA. So I was naturally caring and empathetic to other people. But when I was, the way my mother championed my kind behavior, gave me trophies verbally for kind behavior, reinforced me wanting to do it more. So I came out with a lot of the good ingredients, but she cooked. She cooked it right. And she held me accountable. I was a terrible student. Even though I knew that that wasn't what my self-esteem was and it wasn't wrapped up in it, when I got bad grades, she held me accountable. She never made me think I was dumb or that I wouldn't be successful with bad grades, but she held me accountable for not delivering good grades. So there was consequences. She taught me there was consequences. She taught me there was no excuses. I was really good at baseball from 2nd to 5th grade. Then I didn't get stronger, bigger, fast enough. And one time I struck out in a big spot and I came into the car after the game and I tried to blame the sun. It was in my eyes. She shut that down real quick and it was really powerful. You know, now you got parents like going to kids' schools fighting with teachers. She didn't fight my fights. She taught me so much.
Amazing. Kind of switching gears here, who are the types of partners or clients or brands your companies find most essential? And share some examples if you can.
Clients, man, this is a great story. We were very fortunate. One of the things I pride myself in is VaynerMedia is only 15 years old. And we have almost 100 employees that have worked here for 10 years or more. This is family business. And we have a similar thing with clients. We have a very good retention rate. And I have a pretty good feel of what kind of clients we like working with or the kind of partners we're looking for. We're looking for people that are honest. Like, this is all real stuff. Like, as great as we are, in my mind, we make so many mistakes. We're human. It is what it is. It's life. And so, you know, I think the thing that I've always struggled with is when people are upfront, you know, like getting caught off guard, like having a meeting in September and everything's great. And then like getting an email from that person saying we're not renewing in the upcoming year. Just feels not authentic. And by the way, let me be very vulnerable. Candor for people I care about and like has actually been the kryptonite of my career. So I actually have never really gotten mad about it because I would be a hypocrite. But as I've changed my behavior over the last 5 to 7 years and gotten much better at being able to deliver kind candor, you know, it makes me yearn for it on the other side. So I think authentic partnerships where you can talk about the good, the bad, or the ugly, I think is something we really look for. We also really look for people that are smart. We have a fun joke internally, like we win with winners and we lose with losers. Like, you know, what it refers to is we're different. And I think a lot of agencies say it. It's been really fun. We're growing very fast, so we're hiring a lot of senior people right now. And I literally had drinks this Tuesday with 5 people, 3 were very new. And I was like, so what's up? And they were like, you know, what's up is when I was interviewing with Gary, because I tend to interview at that level, you would talk about being different, but that's what every agency has told us, or me. And this is the first time I feel it. We are religious about our craft, but our craft is not the production value of a commercial. Our craft is knowing all the skills, both quant and qual, that are required to get creative and social, to get organic views. Very different. A lot of science in our art. And so I think that we are very unique, and our clients sometimes sign up for us and then want us to be Droga or Mischief or Wyden or Starcom or Social Code the next
Thank
week.
you for the follow,
And we remind them,
Valley.
you
I
hide
appreciate
there.
it.
And that's tough. I had a company-wide meeting last week where I compared all of us in the company to chairs. I said, you guys we're all being a bunch of chairs. Most of the company could tell by the chat, had no idea what I was saying, and I was slow playing it because I wanted to make a point. And I said, we at our worst are folding like cheap chairs when we get pushback when we know we're right.
We're going to do whatever we can to bring Lombardi to Western New York.
Resilient, tough, that is Buffalo to a core, baby.
Remember, the views were stunning.
Which is delicious. How's your food, by the way? I love it. It takes me back to our trip to Greece.
Nuance Audio is the new invisible hearing solution built into your glasses. Hear what you see comfortably with open ear speakers. Nuance Audio, in tune with life.
Actors, we can make you believe we know what we're doing, when in fact, we do not. Whoops, I have no idea what these buttons do.
I've never driven a stick in my life, but my heart is full yet.
Small business owner, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But GoDaddy Aero does, using AI to build a logo, website, and social content.
The Walton Goggins goggle glasses.
Because if your goggles ain't Goggins, they don't belong on your noggin. With GoDaddy Aero, it's like you know what you're doing.
I think we're looking for clients that have the appetite to deliver on the hyperbole that they tell us up front. Clients, this for everybody who's an agency like watching this, you know this. Clients always tell us,
Yeah,
we want you to
I'll check
push
it in a
us.
second. When I get off
We
the
want-
live,
we
I'll
want
check.
you
I
to
can't
push
check
us.
it at the same
We
time
fucking
on the
push.
live.
And a lot of times when we push, they don't like it. And so we're looking for clients that are open, who are curious, and who are finally ready to stop acting like it's 1996. And are finally willing to act like Don Draper's not the most handsome, even though he's fucking handsome. And we're looking for them to understand the truth, which is our industry is often delusional and insular, and the real world is changing. And the reason so many brands took social in-house is because big agencies couldn't deliver on social. We couldn't get to everyone. And so if we don't bring value, we won't exist. And so we're looking for clients that are ready to live in the year that we actually live in.
Can you tell us a little bit about your founder journey and what prompted you to build your company?
I think it was a fun story. I was thinking about a lot of different things. I had built a large business for my father as my first chapter. So I spent 22 to 34 those years, when I was 22 to 34, 1998 to 2006, building my dad's business. I really revolutionized the wine business. A lot of good Google search results to this. I launched one of the first e-commerce sites in the country, one of the first email newsletters, period, let alone in wine. I was on Google AdWords day one, changed my dad's business, and then really popped off with YouTube. I started a YouTube show within the first year of YouTube's existence called Wine Library TV, where I got internet famous. I was much less famous back then than internet famous is now, when they're the real celebrities. And it exploded my dad's business. I was a first mover on Twitter and an early investor in Facebook and Twitter, which really changed the course of my career, as you can imagine, financially, but also from a brand awareness and a personal brand standpoint. I started getting known. I was one of the first 25 people to have 1 million followers on Twitter in the world. That led to brands in 2005 and 6 and 7 and 8 reaching out to me, 7 and 8, to reach out to me cold on email or Twitter, like literally to my Wine Library email. Hey, Gary, the wine guy, we're Pepsi, we're Reebok, we're Nike. We'd like to learn, why do you have 1 million followers on Twitter? It was literally like, why do you have 1 million followers on Twitter and we have 54 and we're Nike and you're some random kid in New York, in New Jersey doing wine. So I took a couple consulting gigs. The one that really popped off was ESPN. I did a meeting at ESPN. They paid me $5,000 for an hour, which blew my head off. Thought it was the most money of all time. I got out of it. I enjoyed it. I always knew I was a marketer, but I was also an operator and a CEO. I was a businessman and a marketer. And I just realized that there was an opportunity that nobody knew what was about to happen with social, from what I could tell in advertising. And I thought I did. And I wanted to go all in. I called my brother. He was still in college after this ESPN meeting. And I said, I think I have an idea. Because we knew we were going to start a business together. We'd always been entrepreneurial together. We were going to start a fantasy sports site. We were going to start a deal of the day site like Groupon, which probably was a good idea. We should have done that. We started VaynerMedia. And what we did at first was brands like Campbell's Soup and the NHL and PepsiCo. My brother's laptop literally created the Facebook and Twitter accounts for those clients. Our original premise of the business was create social media accounts and community manage. Reply to people leaving comments on the wall, because Facebook didn't have the feed yet. It was just a wall, like MySpace, if you remember. And so when people would show up on the NHL's wall, we'd be like, thank you, or watch the game tonight. So a lot of community management at first, and then obviously it evolved into what it is today.
Can you tell us about your first job ever and how that shaped the kind of leader you are today?
My first job ever. So that's such an always a historically tough question for me, because I've only worked, the only time I've not owned my own thing is when I worked for my father's business. And by the time I was 16 years old, I already had a lot of say in that business. It was a real immigrant life, and I was who I was, and my dad was who he was. The first thing I ever did was sell lemonade. It was very instrumental in my life. I'm not kidding. I'm literally sitting here in hindsight because of how my lemonade career went. I made the lemonade. Wasn't very good, I'm sure. But instead of standing behind the booth, I would make Robbie Turnick or Marissa Bird or Eric Godfrey or Andy Greco or Bobby Duffy, a friend in the neighborhood, stand behind the table, and I would walk Tingley Lane and try to figure out where to put the signs. I wrote a book recently called Day Trading Attention, where I believe knowing where the attention is the only other variable besides the creative being the variable in marketing. I tried my little ass off to make the best lemonade sign for 10 cents. Even back then, when I think about it, I always knew how to make 10 cents big. Like, I was good. It was natural. But the fact that this blows me away, and I'd forgotten about it for 30 years until I reminisced, or my mom mentioned something. The fact that I intuitively at 7 and 8 years old knew that where I put the sign, which tree, which pole, at what angle, at what height, and not only, this is insane what you're about to hear, because it's insane to me. Not only would I think that hard about where I put it, I would then sit and watch cars drive by to see if I could see if the person saw it and would adjust the sign. It impacted my entire career. My first job, I learned that marketing mattered and that I could sell the same amount of lemonade every day, but if the sign was better and placed in a better spot, that I'd sell more lemonade. And if it wasn't, and it was in a worse spot, I'd sell less lemonade. And that's how I did my baseball card tables. When that became my next reality, I would set up my table very strategically. Older dealers, because I was a kid, I was 12, 13, 40-year-old men would make fun of me because I would be like so weird. Like the show would start and I'd be setting up for another hour. They used to try to be nice to me too. They'd be like, hey kid, you got to get ready before the show starts. And I would look at them and be like, you don't know anything. I need to spend the first hour analyzing what everyone's doing and what stands out. I would build like towers of boxes. I would do anything to make you stop at my table. And then finally, when I started working for my dad at 14, I watched every single customer walk through his store. And I would try to figure out where they would stop, how, what sign, what product should I put in front of it? What should I put at the register? What should be the end cap? Why are they not turning left for the beer? We need to sell beer, make them turn left. Build a display that doesn't make them go down that aisle, so they have to go down the beer aisle. I mean, crazy shit in hindsight. Human behavior, attention, marketing, operations. Now lemonade stands the foundation of my career.
Can you describe your work personality and leadership style?
It's always kind. I'm very proud of that. When I die, that's what people will say at my funeral, and that's what I'm most proud of. To me, nice guys finish first. It's actually something I need to rebrand. Nice guys finish last is like the worst fucking statement on earth because it teaches guys the wrong thing. Nice guys finish first. I'm funny. Like I think I try to keep it, like I think I'm very good at countering what's happening, meaning when it's really bad, when like people are scared politically or when something's happening in a business, I think I step up. I take the angst out of the room. I make everyone feel safe. I'm proud of that. On the flip side, when my company's getting a little entitled or a little soft, I'm comfortable reminding everyone like, let's stop fucking around, let's bring it. I think I'm my mother's son.
And what do you really love about your job?
The accountability, the freedom, the responsibility, the creativity, the competitiveness, all of it. I love it. I'm a firefighter. Every day I wake up, I have problems. Singapore this, LA that, London this, New York that. But I'm built for it. I like it. I want it. I want the ball with 3 seconds left and the whole stadium's watching. And if I miss the shot, then I have to deal with the reporters after the game and own it. And if I make it, the crowd cheers and it feels good. And I'm up for that challenge.
And then last question, can you talk about your team and why it's built for success?
My team is so everything. It's built for success because I lead with no fear, and they learn to do that too. They, especially for people that are here for over 5 years, like I thank them so much. They care so much. I feel confident that I've created the rationale for that, but I think we're built for success because we like each other, because we care for it, because it doesn't feel like a corporation. And that because we're really doing, the thing I'm most proud of, and I see it in my team, is we want our clients to actually sell stuff. Like we want the marketing to work. We are not doing work for our own portfolios so that we get a good article in your amazing publication so it leads to new business. We've got all that covered. Our team is built for success because they care and they're good people. And I love them a lot.
More boxes, more options. Grainger has over 1,700 box types in stock and ready to help you pack, store, and ship everything. And you can count on Grainger to deliver your boxes fast. Count on Grainger for boxes. Call or click Grainger.com/boxes today.
This is Buick now. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR on these 2025 Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
No balance. Go hard as come both. Should I post about the business or should I post about this Taco Bell? The answer is and.
What kind of content? Just like founder story?
And that you're pissed that the Heat got knocked out of the playoffs. And that your grandma was your hero. And that you fucking love burritos. Humans and business. Do you know that I'm a New York Jets fan?
Yes.
Do you know that I like blueberries?
Yes.
Do you know that I like garage selling?
Yep.
Do you know that I have a marketing company?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that I have beat friends?
Yep.
You following?
Yep.
My brother, everything.
Yep. I got you.
Everything.
What's the one strategy you recommend that we double, triple down going into 2026?
How much content are you putting out on LinkedIn a day? A week?
Every day.
Don't
we post every day. So we have a full.
What's happening is you're doing way too much words and a couple of pictures and like this is Michael, is this gonna excite anyone?
Probably not.
I believe what's happening here is classic, quote unquote, checking the box to post every day without, it's kind of like going to the gym but not doing the exercises well. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Totally.
So I want to get you to go. So here's where I want you to go. Even just seeing you on camera with me right now, I want you to post, what you're posting now is fine-ish, not my ideal, but I need you to post a video from you every day.
Okay. What's the strategy?
What the fuck is being talked about in your world? Like think about where you're placing like you're talking to people I know everything CMOs and marketers are worried about. Right? Because I talk to them every day. You guys are placing B2B executives every day. You know what's going on in the market. Like,
yep. So in terms of like how long a video?
I'll make a video. What's up, everybody? I'll do it. What's up, everybody? It's Michael from Talent Tractions. All right, one of the things I'm seeing from everybody right now, especially in the B2B SaaS sector, is that people aren't as excited about what college you went to, but they're really looking for how many years you've had with AI at all. Even if you had a year of AI work, you're going to get a huge advantage. So a couple things for people out there looking for jobs, start taking these AI courses, start using them. And for recruiters out there, here are some of the places where you can find certifications that matter. Bro, I just did your post. I'm not even in your business.
How do you then attract the B2B exec, right? You're saying that they'll see those posts as well?
Bro, I just got offered a board seat to a publicly traded company off of one video I posted on LinkedIn. Now,
You're Gary Vee.
yeah, but I was fucking Gary in a liquor store making videos every day that nobody gave a fuck about too. It's content. You're exactly right. That's where I was hoping you would go. I'm Gary Vee now because I fucking did what I'm telling you to do for 15 years every day. I've given away content for free that's valuable. I've put out good information to the universe, and in return, I built reputation. Your videos are going to be based on how well you know it. It doesn't even have to be you. It could be people on your team. It could be you and somebody on your team. But we have to put out content that brings value. How are they going to see it? They all live on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right? Just like 14-year-old girls live on TikTok, executives live on LinkedIn. That's why I've been yelling about LinkedIn for 100 years. George from Providence, New Jersey. What's good, brother? George, do you go to Wine Library? You're very close at New Providence. I'm going to be very upset if you go to some bullshit store around you like Bottle King. You better fucking go to Wine Library. George, answer me. 39165, George. Yes, I do. Let's go, George.
Thanks so much, Gary.
You see where I'm going, brother? I want that content. Like, here's what's going on in the market. Here's what's going on in the market. Here's what's going on in the market. Here's why somebody loses their job after 6 months after we place them. They made this mistake. Here's why employees are bad at selecting employers are bad at picking employees. I've helped people do this. You know your shit. You're in your shit.
Hey Gary, I've been selling full-time on Whatnot for almost 2 years now, and I've scaled close to 2 million in sales. I'm 22 years old.
Stop right there. She's 22 and has done 2 million in sales in the last 24 months, from 20 to 22. Live social shopping is a monster. Like straight up, even like this weekend, sign up for an account on Whatnot, sign up to sell, and like sit in your living room and sell random shit in your house. It's like eBay. It's free money, Dustin. Anyway, go ahead.
Do you think it's time to start other businesses, or should I keep focusing on Whatnot?
No, unless you hate it, but she's just starting. Like, no. Get that to 10 million, save money. The number one goal for anyone who's trying to live a life on their own means is to cut down their overhead, save money, so much so that you can attack your dream for a year and not worry about money, which means you kind of need 18 months worth of money because you attack it for a year. And then when you're like, fuck, I failed at my dream, let me get a job. You got to give yourself a couple minutes there to find a new job. So my number one goal for everyone is cut your overhead, meaning cut your expenses. Like you don't need 4 streaming services. You don't need to buy $8 coffee. You could take public transportation instead of Ubers. You don't need 6 handbags. Maybe 2's good enough. You don't need to buy fucking collectibles, rips. Like, don't let anybody be buying these fucking Be Friends collectibles, even though they're going to go to the fucking moon because they're going to ask you for 40 years. Don't let them buy it right now if they don't have money. I get upset, rips. I don't know if you've seen these tweets. Sometimes people are like, oh, I can't buy the comic book this week. I have to wait for my paycheck. I literally DM these motherfuckers. I'm like, do not buy the comic book. Even though the comic book was a good buy, right? Even though it was 20, you sell for 50. I do encourage flips. Like, what if it didn't do that? Like, we need people to understand the game. 18 months of savings against a low overhead, less expensive apartment. If you're 26 and you're living on your own apartment, move in with your roommate, with your best friend, and have a roommate and cut it in half. If you don't need Paramount Plus. If you don't have $100,000 in savings in your bank, it is inappropriate to have Prime, Hulu, ESPN Plus, YouTube TV. Like, what the fuck? Yes, that's where I'm going. By the way, you can have, I notice what I said. You can't have 6 services you're paying for. You can have 2. I'll let you have Netflix and one other. All right? You got it. So anyway, no, not move on. She's just gaining heat right now, but she's not as far, like, maybe, like there's follow-up questions there because she might be talented enough. But anyway, yes, you do cold message. She's desperate. She has no clients. Everybody who's got a service business, you cut hair, you do consulting, you're a physical trainer. You make a video that looks like this. I will now make it for everyone. Give me a phone real quick. Hey everybody, I'm making this video because I just started this personal training business. Hey everybody, I'm making this video because I just started my own accounting firm and I'm looking for clients. Hey everybody, I'm finally going after my lifelong passion to start my own landscaping business. So you're getting this video because you're in my contacts on my phone. Some of you are my best friends since high school. Others, I probably met once and you're in my phone. I'm sending this to literally everybody from A to Z in my phone. I'm not asking you to hire me to do landscaping, but I'm asking if you know anyone who might be in the market for a landscaper. This is my one plea, my one ask as I start on this journey. And I hope my journey maybe even inspires some of you to finally jump and start your own thing. So I'm starting with Andrew Anderson and I'm ending with Zachary Zazaloff. Please, I apologize if we've only talked once and you find this to be spam. I will put the link to my social media and website if you like.
Choose your escape with the $5, $7, and $9 deluxe cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
We all talk about AI, and meanwhile, the most important AI in the world is sitting right here. It's the AI that runs these algos, and we completely are dismissing it. In my little tiny agency, I have 137 people whose full-time job is to look at the analytics, both quant and qual, of what the newsfeed is doing for all 7 platforms. How do we do it? We look at the quant and qual data. We analyze absolutely everything. If you look carefully at this post, it's a thumbnail first. We're literally looking at the colors of the word they. You then go into it. We're paying attention to what the first words are. Should we be using this new feature? Notes, right, is what it's called. Then I'm looking at the actualized reach. Then I may look at something and say, so this one right here, image, very clear. This one I bet you did well. Sure enough, look at this number. The reason I did that is I know right now, and my company knows, that images are reaching a higher propensity of new users than videos. We are doing this fully backwards, brother. We have the greatest tools of all time, and we're treating it like, it's like those adages of not knowing how to use a tool. Like we have a Lamborghini, and we're using it as like a planting pot. Creative, unlocking all the answers is an unheard of reality for the way we all grew up. And right now, almost everyone thinks social media is a lesser than medium, and it's hurting them. Social overall has a staggering amount of actual attention in the consumer landscape. Collectively, the 7 most meaningful social networks have more actualized attention on them than any other medium, and it's not even close. And then when you talk about advertising, the next biggest mediums, streaming services, television, podcast and radio, all of their ad formats are disruptive, and it's potential reach, not actualized reach. But because of the way that social is structured, you don't know the ad's coming because it's the next piece of content. And if you have creative excellence in the thumbnail and the first 3 seconds of that creative, you have a shocking opportunity to capture actual consumer attention. First, capturing their attention, whether it's an 18-year-old on Snapchat Spotlight or TikTok,